Let me give you another example to illustrate how great business partnering can come from curiosity, from going deep into the data, and then constructing your analysis. A brand was to be upgraded in Latin America, and the new product, which was a upgrade, nothing dramatic, but the project had a requirement of another $10 million of marketing spend. Based on the initial data from consumer insights on the new upgrade and the economics, everything looked okay with the 5% volume uplift. So basically they said if this new product is upgraded, we will get a 5% volume uplift. Everything seemed okay, but then the financial analyst was sort of a bit curious. He dug in and tried to understand what studies, what forecasting model the consumer insights group had run. What he found was that there were three scenarios that had been evaluated, right? The first one was current product and current levels of marketing spend. The second scenario on which was being recommended by the team was new product and higher levels of marketing. However, there was a third scenario that was run in the forecasting model and the considerations. Old product and new levels of marketing. Just summarize: new product, higher marketing. Old product, old and hence lower marketing. And old product, no product change but higher levels of marketing. Interestingly, the 5% volume uplift was also available if there was no product change. Just it was purely a result of the extra marketing spend. Let me illustrate with another example. In Latin America, a product was to be upgraded, and that was to come along with another $10 million of marketing. So Consumer Insights had done the volume forecasting model, and basically what they had said was that with the new product, a 5% volume increase was to result, and that was basically giving the project economics to have a positive NPV. Based on all the data that was being presented, everything looked great. The economics were meeting the hurdle rates, and it looks like, let's go for it. The financial analyst was, however, a bit more curious. He decided that he wanted to understand how the volume forecasting model had been run, what was the various scenarios that had been considered. So lo and behold, we found out that there were actually three scenarios that were run. First was current product and same levels of marketing. Second was an upgraded product with additional $10 million of marketing. However, a third scenario had been run, same product as today and higher marketing by the same $10 million. Lo and behold, the volume uplift that the third scenario was giving was also 5%, which would mean that if you did not change the product and did not invest more in the product but just increase the marketing, you would get the same volume uplift. Now this threw a complete new vector dimension into the project discussion. Now it doesn't mean that the project wasn't launched, but clearly the team was going in with their eyes open that if they were to invest in the product upgrade, it was purely to keep the product afresh and not directly linked to the 5% extra volume that they were getting. Clearly a case of being curious, digging deep, diagnostic style analysis that can yield a lot more insights and really help with decision making and creating much better shareholder value. Now let me illustrate how good competitive analysis can make a big difference. This was again in Latin America, and this was between two companies, both multi-category. The person working on the competitive analysis basically mapped out the patterns of behavior of the competitor. What was found that over the years, this competitor, who basically actually had an umbrella brand across categories, used to move around marketing monies from one category to the other. So whenever the company in which this analyst was working would launch a particular initiative or focus on one of the categories, the competitor would come back and put all its money behind that category under threat, and effectively let the other two categories that they were competing in have no marketing money for that period or that year, and ride the umbrella brand and hence compete effectively. Now, this piece of insight basically resulted in the company deciding to go for a multi-category attack in a particular 6-month time frame. So basically spending on all the categories that they were competing in. The competitor in this case now no longer had the regular tool that they used to use, which was to focus all the monies on the single category under threat. With the 3 categories that they were operating in under direct attack, they were clueless as to what to do. The end result was that one of the categories, which was actually the largest one, this competitor actually eventually withdrew from it over the years, not immediately. But what had the analyst done? Basically, by using insightful analysis, by mapping the patterns of this competitor, helped the company, helped the business team change the way they competed, and took them to compete simultaneously in multiple categories or put additional marketing monies to make a step change in where the competitor basically withdrew from that market. A clear case of how great competitive analysis can have great results in the company. Let me give you an example of how good understanding of the category can result in superior analysis and great decision making, or rather planning in this case. This particular category, it was found by the analysts that